past few years, collective research has debunked the popular myths that a high-fiber diet lifestyle can cause unfinished housework, late dinners, and neglected family members. In fact, continuing studies show that a high-fiber diet lifestyle may significantly improve the disposition of a crafter, creating a more contented home life. Furthermore, continued exposure can develop an ability to endure meetings, waiting rooms, school functions, and sporting events without experiencing the kind of boredom it makes one want to consume lead paint. Here are just a few ways one can properly increase daily fiber intake. Visit your local yarn store or shop online. Join online fiber communities. Tour sheep or alpaca farms. Attend fiber festivals. Or listen to the High Fiber Diet podcast. Please remember to spread your fiber intake throughout the day rather than trying to get it all in one shot. Stretching and resting is important, and your body will thank you.
Hi, this is Kagi, and welcome to the High Fiber Diet. I'm actually in my craft room, which is becoming my office, which is still a craft room, but yeah, we're going to see how this goes. So, buckle in. We're going to have a ride. It's been an adventure here. Let's just start it off that way. I don't know that anything I'm going to show you is anything I've talked about before, because my whole life kind of went and did a left turn. So, yeah. I'm unemployed as of last Wednesday, and I'm reemployed as of Monday, and this is Saturday after Thanksgiving. So I hope you all are full of turkey or whatever. We had some turkey. We had Chicago pizza. That's just our thing. So Luminalties delivers, so I'm good with that. My hair is tweaking me out. I don't know. So whatever. Yeah, this all came about, I think, while I was, in between episodes. But I have my sweaters still going. I have everything. I just haven't worked on them. Other things came up and I just needed a different kind of stress relief. So I have my tea. I have you guys, and I'm going to get into it. Let's talk about, I don't even know what I talked about last time. So if you're seeing something that I've talked about before, it is what it is. First finished object. It's a Wooble. I think that's how you pronounce it. But I kind of went off the pattern. I kind of didn't, because I was teaching my granddaughter how to crochet. And we went to Joann's, and she picked out the Abominable Wooble. And she got the blue one. So I went into my stash yarn and I got the pink one. And this one has lots of colors in it. And it's speckly, and it's acrylic, and it's stuffed with stuffing. And so this was my Wooble to help her finish. Now, she isn't completely done. She'll be finishing. But I think this one is adorable. And it's going to go right up here with my Gnomies. And going to be happy in my little office. Probably won't stand up, so I need to put something heavy in the bottom. But there you go. It was just acrylic. My granddaughter's came in a kit. It had the pattern. I had yarn. I sat down and crocheted with her. She got most of the stitches without a problem. It's the decreasing is giving her a little bit of a fuss. But I think she's going to get it. She's 14 and she's learning, and she's the one that asked. I didn't say, hey, let's do this. She asked. So there was that. And in going through therapy and everything, cupping and acupuncture and all that, at that point in time, crochet was a lot easier for my arm than knitting. So I just went with that. So my next finished object is another crochet. And that is this headband, or I would use it as a cowl underneath a coat. I'm not much of a headband wearer though, so if you put it up, I'm just not much of that. Actually, that doesn't look that bad, does it? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't. I don't know. But I did that, and my old office was cold. And that's one of the reasons why I knit this. It was either an ear warmer or a cowl, or crocheted this, not knit. And I also made myself some very versatile mitts, no thumbs, just a hole, because that way I'm one on my fingerless mitts. I wear the dollar store stretchy gloves underneath, and that way if they become wet because I'm scraping or whatever, I can set those aside, grab another pair. They're $1 or so, so I have 6 or 8 pairs in the car, but I always have my hand warmers on top. And so I made this set, and yes, they match. This one's just over my watch. So I really like them. I want to say this took a Saturday afternoon to make up the set. And I don't know if I'm going to keep them or if I'm going to gift these now that my hands can stay warm in my office. But I need to still wash them and block them. These are done out of Knit Picks Bravo acrylic, so washable and dryable, and I could wrap them up with a bow and be done with a quick Christmas gift. So really easy. My third finished object, because the therapist wanted me to get back to normal everyday things, and the next step after crochet for me would be spinning. And so spinning, and it's the movement. I was doing the short forward draw where you're pinching and flicking and pinching and pulling and pinching and pulling and this hand goes back a little bit, this one keeps going forward, this one goes back a little bit, and you're shoving it up the orifice the whole time. Well, I had started this the beginning of October, and my arm wouldn't let me spin. And so it's very fallish. And I ended up with a little bit of thick and thin because, the dexterity of the arm trying to get things right with the muscle and everything. I turn it into a 3-ply so that it looks a lot more put together, a lot more even. And this came out with, how much is it? I think it's 165 yards of a 3-ply. Just a second, let me look. I made notes, and that's the easy way to go, is check your notes. Da-da-da. Well, if I can get back to my page on Instagram, that's where I keep my notes, because I posted it. And yeah, it's 165 yards of 3-ply, and I don't even recall what the maker, the dyer's name was. I don't recall. But to me, it definitely looked like leaves in the fall, and so I am going to take it right over here. You can't see, but I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, about 30 totes of yarn that I need to sort and get organized, and I will be destashing quite a bit. But I have 10 skeins of Yarn Hollow in a variegated brown. Actually, I think it was kettle dyed brown. And I think with this, one of those, I don't know which designer it is, but I think it's the Arboreal, where it's all the leaves. And I think that Yarn Hollow and this will go very well together and give me the fall leaves that I want in the yoke of a sweater. And so I think there is enough here. It came out a worsted weight 3-ply. And so that's a worsted weight. So I will probably have to change the pattern. If I remember right, that pattern's in Sport. Might be DK. But anyways, I'm still going to have to change the pattern to be able to fit this. But the way this comes together and the way you see the colors changing, just doing that, you can see it a lot more. But I think I'm going to like it. And I love the way it's squished up. This is washed and blocked. I did it on a 1-yard Swift when I skeined it up. Washed, thwacked, and everything, and it came out nice and even. So, yeah. You're going to hear some road noise. I'm at the front of our house. That's where my office is. It is what it is. People live in this area, so they drive by, they make noise. But that is my third finished object, and I am back in some sort of spinning. Yeah, let's get into whips. I don't have a lot of whips. I have one out in the car. That is the Brickless. I still have that in the car. I haven't even worked on it, so I didn't bring it in. The white sweater in pieces, I haven't worked on. The one that I am doing out of the cotton puzzle, which is the white and gray. This is, I believe, Fog in cotton puzzle. Yeah, Fog Bank. I haven't worked on. Those will be coming. Other things took over and I got excited, and so I started things. This bucket, which I picked up, I think, at the dollar store, and I love it. It's a felted, I think it's cardboard, but it is the nicest little sit on the couch and knit out of bucket. I ordered from Temu, and I know some people don't like Temu, some do. Everything I've ordered, I have not had a problem with, but I don't order clothing. I mean, I order things like LED lights, and because I love the flower LED lights and stuff. And I'm not paying the prices at Amazon if I don't have to. But I ordered cashmere yarn, and you can get it from several sources, but it was a 6-pack of the little and the big, and you knit with them together. This is some of the softest, and I don't care if it's real cashmere or not. I like it. It says it's real cashmere. It feels like real cashmere. Less than $20 for a sweater. But I started my Christmas sweater. And I have barber cord in here, which we used to call this try-it-on tubing. Now it's barber cord. I don't know what the hell it is. It looks like thin line aquarium stuff. So whatever it is, I just love it. I have my sleeves up. But I started a new Ranunculus, and I did it a little bit different like I always do. This is number 6, I think. 6, yeah. So I have started it, and I have separated for the sleeves, and I am just beyond separating for the sleeves. And let me tell you, these octopus are stupid cute, but Gandalf thinks they're his. Yeah, that little guy that's sleeping right there steals these off my needles. So I have the octopus, I have hearts, I have gnomies, I have a whole bunch of these. And these are the ones that he steals, but these are the ones that go on my Christmas sweater. So things I have done differently on the Ranunculus. Number 1, I cast on with a size 8. And I did 6 rows of garter. And I did that flat. And then I connected in the round and mattress seamed up that piece. So this is all I have left of the beginning, and it's all been seamed up. So all I have to do is snip that. Then, after doing the back short rows, I do not do the front short rows. I do not like the way it bumps in the front, and you can see here that this sweater's doing that. I'm not liking that. So I don't do the front because I want my back higher and my front just a little bit lower so it sits nice and easy on the neck. Then I do the pattern as suggested until right after the lace pattern. Normally, right after the lace pattern, you go into other steps, and I like it to be symmetrical, where I have the purl bumps here and the purl bumps here before going into the second set of elongated stitches. And so I changed my numbers just a little bit. The other thing I do is my back is not as wide as my front because I got girls. So to cover the girls correctly, I move my separation of sleeve to where there's less in the back and more in the front. And I also always increase. It says to cast on 7, and I increase to 14 stitches to cast on. And so when you do the 2 weird stitches in the beginning, you have 12 in the middle. And that works for me. That just gives me enough room under because I'm a little bit wider this way than some people, but I'm also bigger in the front than I am in the back. And that's how I adjust my round yoked sweaters to fit my body. And everybody is different. I just like my sweaters to fit me. So that's what I do. And this, again, this is out of the cashmere from Temu. I'm still not done with the first ball. I think each one of these balls has over 300 yards in it. Let me look and confirm. Well, I can't confirm because I don't read that language. Let's see, maybe if I tuck over here. I'm going to open it. Open, open, open. Let's see, what does it say? It says 100% cashmere. An official regain of 15%, normal weight 50 grams. First grade. Color 2, which is their beige, which I'm not sure if it's coming out, but it's got a pink halo to it. It's just a little bit pink. And it doesn't say the yardage, but when I looked online, I think it was about 300 yards. And so you knit with one of these and one of these together. And it's making up just over a sport weight, which is fine. To me, I don't need the super boxy. I like it a little bit more fitted. So that's what this is coming out. And yeah, I am liking the way that this is making up. I'm kind of stretching that one right there. But this has been, now that it's in the round, it's my TV knitting at night, and I'm hoping to be able to wear this during the Christmas season. So that is my first cast on. My next cast on is in this bag that I got from Slipknit West in Rapid City. I made a purchase and she gifted me this bag. And I am doing this on double points. And I think I have my bands in here. I do have my bands. supposed to have money in the bottom of it. I'm rich, I guess. I am making Susie's reading mitts, which back in the day it used to be called that. Now it's Susie Rodger's reading mitts, but I use the original pattern. It's free. And it has a picot edge that you fold under and pick up right there. And I will seam that, I will weave in that end that is hanging off. And I did the inside without the mohair, or the alpaca, I'm sorry, this is alpaca. And the outside, the whole thing I'm doing with the alpaca on the outside. So you can tell the difference in the color. That's without the alpaca fuzz. And that's with the alpaca fuzz. So without, nice and bright, with a little bit more autumnal. And these again will be mitts, so they're fingerless. And this yarn is DK from Tuscan Knits, She No Longer Dies. And it was called Indian Paintbrush, which is a type of bush. And it's got the pinks, the orange, the greens, the golds. I'm loving it. And then the alpaca that I'm doing alongside it is Navia alpaca in, doesn't even have a color number. It's out of the Faroe Islands. Yeah, color number 854, which I would say is a toffee color. And this is the band on that. And it is a nice, thin, fuzzy yarn. And it is oh so soft. I am not one that has a problem with alpaca. My only thing is I did the large, and I know that the reason I did it was to get it over my watch, because I do wear my watch, and I want to be able to wear it. And like I said, I always wear the dollar store mitt or gloves underneath because I like my fingers protected. But I know that will fit. And then I am going to knit it up. It says 5 inches up, and I think I'm going to do 6. Because I think I will have enough with this yarn to do that. And these are going to be my own, not for somebody else, where the blue ones here I may be gifting to someone. But this, I'm doing it on double points. I use Haya Haya, I believe. Are these Haya Haya or are these Chiagu? What are these? They may even be Knit Pro. Let's see. What flavor are they? It's Knitter's Pride. Mindful Collection is what I use for my double points. My sock double points are either Chiagu or Haya Haya, and I have those in here as well. And they're Haya Haya. So they're a little bit pointier. And I will be getting to that in just a minute because those will be happening. So, as you can see, I'm starting to organize things. Now, this is going to be work and crafts. So, some cubbies, like this one right here, that's kind of, you can't see all of it, but that's mostly work stuff. This one is mostly work stuff. And then I have some knitting back here. But where Gandalf is sleeping right now, little guy, hello. This is where my printer is going to go, and then the computer is going to go here. So it'll be changing around just a little bit. But these are Susie's reading mitts as we get into the rest of that. Why that all came up, I don't know. But yeah, just take it as it is right now. And I love this little bag. I actually use this as my purse on the move. And it was really nice. This bag opens up with a drawstring, so it has this tall portion here then the drawstring closes it up, and I was able to stuff my my wallet and everything else in here and still have a purse that would stand up in the truck while I was driving and be able to reach in and get what I needed, plus have my knitting and things like that. And the cats didn't get into it because of the drawstring, so it was easy. So I really like these bags. If I knew who it was made by, I would give you more information than that, but I don't know. Oh, hey. I am a member of Grove, and Grove Company does a lot of beyond plastic things, where like the dryer or the washing sheets for laundry and stuff. I have really gotten into using hand soap sheets. And so you walk into a restroom and you don't always have soap in the dispenser anymore. And so though these little scent, this one smells like spice pumpkin, but it's not pumpkin spice, it's spice pumpkin. You can smell the pumpkin in it. And that gives you enough soap to wash your hands, rinse off, and be done. And it doesn't leave an icky residue. And so I carry these with me if I'm out and about. That way, if I need to wash my hands and there's no soap, one little box will do 40 washes. So if you want to try this, I do have a code. Go ahead and message me on Instagram, and you can find me there. I believe it's CoggyTM with an underscore before the TM, and I will get you the code for that. A couple of ladies at my past employer went ahead and did that, and I'm like, it's not anything to where you have to jump. And if you decide not to be a subscriber, just mark it unsubscribe, but you get your special the first time and go forward. And there you go. What else am I knitting on? I know what I'm knitting on. Hold on. We'll cut all that out. Okay. So, back in South Dakota, I worked for Crazy Horse Memorial. And in March, we decided to part ways. And that wasn't bad. And I needed a celebration. So, right around that time, Suburban Stitcher put out a call for her very pink advent calendar. And I'm like, well, I don't know where we're going to be. I don't know what we're doing. And I ordered it. It arrived. And now I'm in another transition between jobs. And I'm like, I don't know what my crazy time in December is going to look like. So, after saying at the beginning of this year that I wasn't ordering any more advents because I have 3 right down there, which, let's start with those. Well, I'll start with one of them because the other 2 I haven't opened. But this one is from Anna Knitter in Germany. She has a cute podcast and she has a really nice Telegram group. And this one has 24 boxes that I still haven't opened from, was it last year or the year before? And I actually had 2 of these, and I gave one to my daughter-in-law because she'd never had a yarn advent, so she's going to start that December 1st. So this one, I'm actually, even though it's 2 years late, going to start December 1st, and I'm going to open it, and I'm going to do, this is all opal, and I'm going to do a granny stripe blanket. So that's this. So I have plans. Then I have 2 others. Yeah. So there's that. So I need to do that. Maybe I need to plan that for 2024. But, and of course I just knocked everything over. When I got the one from Suburban Stitcher, it's pink. And now you know why when it came out, I'm like, yep, I need that. Don't care. It's pink. I need it. I need it. Those are the words. I need it. Well, I'm in the middle of a transition. So I didn't wait. Now, I know there's a pattern coming with it that you can pick up closer to the 1st, and I know it's a week away, and all those things I know. I don't want to do a shawl. I don't want to do a cowl. I don't want to. She put down that there's X amount of yarn per mini. So I figured out how much the yardage is, and I'm like, I can do a sweater. I'm a sweater knitter. As much as I say I like knitting everything else, and I do like knitting everything else because I like knitting. I don't like knitting brioche. So there's that. But I do like knitting. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to knit a sweater. What sweater? Well, I didn't like some of them, and some of them were like just one row of this or one, and I'm like, no. Let's figure out what I can do. Now, this is one I'm wearing that I kind of invented myself, and it combines, let's see, I can put this down. I knit this back in South Dakota. I think I started it in Michigan and knit it. So you can see that it's 2 different yarns. And I just took DK weight yarn and went, okay, I know how many stitches per inch in a swatch, and moved on from there. So the neckline, everything. I've got a couple bubbles that I probably need to re-seam up and things. By the way, I'm putting on these overalls. These are from Cider. I love Cider's overalls. If you haven't ordered from them, it's worth it. They're so comfy. So comfy. But I was like, what sweater am I going to do? Well, I know one of my most worn sweaters is by Knititude, and that is the Easy Yoke. But I knew that this was going to be fingering weight. And her Easy Yoke is sport weight. Just a little bit of a difference, but enough. And I'm like, well, the Easy Yoke that I've done before, I know that I can go up a needle size and get a little bit bigger of a gauge and still make it work for me. Because, you know, I'm going to measure, and I know how far on a circular yoke I need to go before I need to do my pits. And then I know how long, and most of hers are shorter than what I like. I like a 16 inches from armpit down. That's just my magic number. And then I start on my edging and things like that. So all this to say, I opened it. So if you have this Advent and you're watching and you still want to be surprised a week from now, go away. 5 minutes, go away. Okay, so I only opened number 1 so far. It comes with all of the information. Right over here where my fingers are is a download, so that's for the pattern, so I'm not showing that. Has a lot of information. It has opened the package goodies now, which is a stash wild raspberry hibiscus tea. And there is a set of stitch markers and a darning needle. So we will need those. I don't need to open those right now. I can open those in a week. And I didn't see anything else. She's got some paper things in here. That's kind of cool. But other than that, I think this is just packed with yarn. So I kind of snooped and I found number 1. And then I went, okay, I like this color, but I know that I want to knit to 16 inches and I want sleeves. Sleeve length depends on what I have, but I want sleeves. So I have 24 at X amount of yards. How am I going to do this? And if I have stuff left over, what am I going to do with it? So I went into planning mode. And I wanted to do the Easy Yoke or Easy Eyelet Yoke Lite. So I have Stonehenge Fiber Mill up in East Jordan, Michigan. And I have a bunch of their yarn. And a few years ago, I picked up a couple skeins of their fingering weight in pewter. Absolutely adore this. This is shepherd's wool. And it is a beautiful, bouncy fingering weight, which is the same. This is 100% wool, where the sock yarn from Suburban Stitcher is a 75-25. So there's a little bit of a different feel. This is actually softer than the sock yarn until you wash it, and then the softness comes out. So, because I only told them 5 minutes, I'm going to bound forward. I cast on with a size 6, and I cast on in the pewter, and then I switched to day 1. And day 1 is this beautiful speckled pale pink with golden highlights. I'm going to call it like a rose gold color. And I have done the short rows in the back. And I have added a pink stitch marker because everything on this must be pink, because it must be pink. It's Christmas. It's got to be pink. Well, it's my kind of Christmas. It has to be pink. So I am at this point. Now what I'm thinking about is, I have noticed, because I pulled out my handy dandy ruler, and I know that 1 inch, which is right there, is 6 rows. So I know that I've got 24. Well, if I'm doing 24 colors, that's 24 inches. I don't want it 24 inches, because 9 plus 16 is 25, but I want the gray border at the bottom. And I've got sleeves. Did I do the math right? Yeah, 9 plus 16, because that's a normal 9 to 10 inch here, and then I cast on extra here instead of giving myself more bulk under. It's just the way I do sweaters. And so I'm thinking 24 inches will be perfect. And of course, going around my middle is going to take more yarn than going around my neck. So I'm going to hold off on what I'm going to do next with the yarn, depending on how much I have left over. But I'm either thinking of doing mitered squares and doing some kind of cowl, or if I have a lot left over, then I may do actual squares. Probably knitted squares, something like the barn raising or something like that, but maybe with a lacy motif. I don't know, because I don't know if they're going to be solid or if they're going to be speckled, or like this one's speckled, but it's lightly speckled. So there's too much information. But anyways, so I'm going to put this away. You've seen it. Next up, I'm going to show you the bag that it's in. And this is by I Love You. And this is my flowers bag. And yes, that's a beautiful flowered skunk. And I love it. And it just makes me happy. And that is going to be part of my Advent knitting this year. Why do I say part? Because the beginning of the year I said I wasn't going to buy any ornaments, and yeah, do you know me? Yeah, I don't do stash down well. I like supporting small businesses. So I have this one from Suburban Stitcher. And then I saw that Miss Lynn from Chicken Lady Fiber Arts decided to do an Advent. And last year I did Sweet Mountain Crafts, and I still have hers that I need to knit from. So I'm going to do that. So I didn't order one from her this year because I have last year's that I still need to knit up. And I actually put that in a bag, and that one will be getting started. But this one from Chicken Lady Fiber Arts still has to be opened. And I'm not, well, should I open it? Because I'm not going to start it, but I can open it here. Yeah, I think I can. think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I did. Nope, gotta open that too. I need a knife. I hurt myself with a knife. I don't need a knife. Really don't. I'll stick to my scissors. So, did that come apart to where it'll open? Yep. Maybe. Haha. Thank you. Well, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for supporting a small business. And I really like her philosophy of we don't do Black Friday, which I don't buy anything on Black Friday. I try not to buy anything during this weekend. Though I did go out and get my nails done. And I do have Santa hats on my nails. So, yeah. But that's a normal every 2 weeks. So, get my nails done. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Open first. Open second. I'm not opening these right now. This will wait until December 1st. I am going to push through. I'm taking pictures of my Suburban Stitcher one so that I can post on the days that will be, you know, December 1st, December 2nd. I'm not posting them on social media because I'm not that much of a spoiler. So I am a spoiler though, because you can see that. But I will be opening these and I'll snap the picture and then I'll show the growth. But anyways, what I didn't say about that pattern, it's 6 rows to an inch is what I'm getting on a size 8 because I went up to a size 8 needle. And this is just my gauge because everybody's gauge is a little bit different. The octopus jumped off my... But I don't know how I'm going to do the next. I don't want to do a fade where I'm going 1 row, 1 row, 1 row, 1, because that will expand in length. And I don't want to do that. So what I think I'm going to do, because the eyelets are set so far apart, they're that far apart. I think when I go to change at 1 inch, I'm going to do not a slip one, knit one, because I don't want it to pull, but I think I'm going to do carrying 2 yarns stranded all the way around where it's going to be slip one, knit one, slip, or not slip one, knit. One from the right hand, one from the left hand, one from the right hand, one from the left hand. I don't know. I'm going to do these in order. I was told that they're going to fade. And so that little bit is going to allow the change in colors to make the eye a little bit so it's not harsh lines, because I don't want harsh lines. Though I know it's going to be stripy, I don't want wabam. So that's just me. And so I am going to be doing it that way. How you play with your patterns and what you do with your knitting is your own stuff. Everybody knits and spins a little bit differently. I've been spinning now for 15 years. Is that about right? 2007 was when I got my first wheel. And this is 23, so that's about in there. Got it for Christmas. In fact, my first wheel is still sitting up here. I have several other wheels, and I've bought some and sold some, and then I have some that are just really novelty. I have one right here. I haven't played with this one in ages, but I have a feeling that I'm going to pull this one out and have it on my desk, and when I need a thought process, I will turn it on. And I have this much of the yellow gold left to be able to do up on it, and see how this will go. I know I have a metal piece that this rubber bands onto to hold it. It's made out of very thin wood, and it's an EEW wheel. It's a mini. And I have multiple bobbins for it. And it's just fun. And so this is one I'm going to bring back into my life and use some. I do need to get a new drive band for my pinky. And my ladybug is over there. The ladybug is what I spun on over here. So lots of fun here. And it's just, as I pull things out, it's like, what's next? What am I seeing next? What am I seeing next? And it's like a kid in a candy store. And I'm thinking of the goat kid, not a child kid, you know, play on words. But, yeah. Something I did find was one of the first projects that I still have. When I was younger, I did Barbie stuff and, you know, doll stuff and stuff like that when I was a kid. But this one was for my son, my own baby. And it has been well used, and there's some bleach marks in it. But this is a very, very old, I want to say these are Red Heart, because that's definitely what it feels like. And I remember my mother seaming up each one of these together. She did the whip stitch on them. And it's beautifully done. But I remember Grandma sitting while I was pregnant, and I would take the broomstick and do broomstick lace, and it would, in the 2 hours that Grandma sat, so that this person who was watching her elderly grandmother with dementia would go off and do whatever she was doing. It was 2 hours a week. She got away, and I sat and I watched Grandma. And we talked, and I learned a lot from this lady. She may have had dementia, but she had just the stories. They were amazing. And so she would sit and watch me do this, and she would get up and play piano and, you know, things that bring back your memories and stuff. And she was just amazing. And we called it grandma sitting instead of babysitting while I was pregnant. And I would sit and make this blanket, and it's not very big, but it took me all summer to make. I think it's a 6x6, so 36 squares. And I didn't know if I was having a boy or a girl, because, yeah, back then you could have, but I was like, no, I want to be surprised. And I loved the shape of the broomstick lace, and it was just my little thing to do while I was pregnant. And this was Bear's first blanket. And he came home from the hospital in this blanket. And like I said, there's some bleach marks from when I didn't know. And you can tell it's a little bit, that's how acrylic gets, is the bleach. But it was well washed and well used. And one of these days, I should give it to him. His children are too old for it, but at least he'd have it. And maybe pass it on to a grandchild or something. But I found that in my research of doing stuff. I also found some things that Sarge brought home from Afghanistan, and I found some things from when he's been other places, and lots of memories coming into here. And like when he had to go somewhere and he picked me up yarn as a souvenir or something, and he did that quite a bit. So that's kind of cool. At the job that I just left, the ladies, it was the best group of ladies I've ever worked with. And I didn't leave on bad terms. In fact, I had lunch or tea with one of my bosses there yesterday, and it was a good conversation. Moving forward and everything, just really good conversations. But one of the ladies would go up to her cabin in the UP, or at least up north. I'm not sure if it was all the way up in the UP, but she said it was a 3 or 4 hour drive. So I'm thinking it wasn't quite over the bridge. But she made from recycled, thrifted sweaters mittens. And I ordered a pair from her for me. And she lines them with just fleece fabric. And she takes different parts of the sweaters that she has and she sews them together. And so some of them could be all off of one sweater, some of them could be combined. They add jewels to some things. I got one without jewels. It's got a really good fit for the hand. Even with nails, I still have room in the hand. And it does go up far enough. It's wide enough to fit over my watch. And it goes up far enough that in my coat, it will cover and keep me warm. These are ones that I'll use for driving, and on really cold days, I will not use these for actually scraping windows and stuff like that. That's what the dollar store ones are for. But keeping these in the car so I can throw my hands in them after I've scraped. So you take off the wet ones and you put on the dry ones, and your hands are nice and toasty while you drive. But I really like these, and they were a good price point. I think she charged $30. And so it was worth it. She said it took maybe an hour, hour and a half to cut it out and sew it. So she was getting her time paid for, because the material, she'd buy a whole sweater and be able to get 4 or 5 pairs of mittens out of a sweater for $3 or something. So it was worth it. And so I picked up a couple of pairs. I have a couple to gift, and I have this pair for me, and I may go back and get a black and white pair that I keep thinking about. So that was taken care of. Other acquisitions, I really don't have much. I did win a prize, and this was off a Telegram group that's called Spinning. Oh my goodness, what is it called? Where's my Telegram groups? There we go. Fall in Love with Spinning. And this group of ladies, I've gotten to know some of them I knew before. It's just a wonderful group to get in with. But we did a spin along in October. And like I said, I really didn't get to spin much because my arm wouldn't let me. And so I posted the first picture of spinning the yarn that I finished. And then I posted a picture of reteaching my daughter-in-law how to spin. So those were the two. Well, my name was picked, and I have one of the items I'm already in use with, and it's a little Notions little pouch, and that was really cute. But I also got highlighter tape from her, and this is in the nice yellow for a highlighter. I love this because you can put it on and off just like you pull on and off a Post-it note. I love that. And who gave, yeah, it's Brenda. Brenda is the one that made it. And the sheepy goodness that's in here, I already have one started. It's on my wheel over there. I can't pick up and bring over the wheel right now. It hurts the arm to lift that one. But that one is named, oh my goodness, why can I, it just went as to what the name of the sheep is. There we go. Sombrero is the name of the sheep, and that is me spinning it there. And we post to the group. And she also sent through, Sombrero is a CVM Cormo mix, and Cormo is one of my favorite breeds to spin. CVM is my second, Falkland my third, and from there on. But this is Reagan Cormo Merino CVM cross sheep, and these are her sheep from her farm. And so I am so excited to spin these. This one's Reagan, just gorgeous, and oh, so sheepy. Yes, I love that smell. And then she also sent Pippin. Love Pippin. And Pippin is 100% Cornmeal. It's like a cloud. Oh, and so good, so yummy. And look at the crimp on that. You can see the spring. Oh, and this is top. It's beautiful top. And just the length of that fiber, still pulling. That's a good 5-6 inch length. Oh my goodness. Yes. Do you like that? Come here, Cupid. Come here. Do you like that? Did you smell that? No, you want your face scratched. Let's not get kitty hair in that. And I felt so spoiled in getting this box. She also sent through some Spunky Eclectic, and this is from the 2013 Spunky Club, and this is Daylily. Gorgeous. So gorgeous. And this is 4 ounces of South African fine merino. This type of lily is prolific, sending out tons of flower heads. Each one usually only lasts 1 day. Here today, gone tomorrow. Beauty isn't permanent, but it's nice to enjoy while it lasts. Luckily, the fiber this month only shares the name, and this beauty will last longer than the flower. So, absolutely gorgeous, and it is definitely next to skin. All of them are. Love it. She also sent me through a sweater comb, and this one I can put in my purse for when I find pills. I love pills. I've shown before, you go with the grain, you don't go against the grain. This needs to be pilled. I need to wash it. Yes, it's supposed to be a 3/4 length, and I need to pill it. She also sent through the stitch markers. I believe the octopus are from this. She sent through a handful of tea. You can never have enough tea. Lemon and ginger, mango and strawberry. That one will go to Sarge. Only because I'm allergic to strawberries, but I love it anyways. Cranberry raspberry, black currant and blueberry. And another cranberry raspberry, and then an Earl Grey. And she sent through the cutest little from 3 by the Sea Progress Keeper. So when I start another sweater, I will use that as the Progress Keeper. And then finally, for what's in here is Eucalyptus unscented wool wash. And what are you doing? Are you knocking things over? Yeah? Do you think it's time for you to get down? Yeah? Come on. Get down. Go on. There you go. Yep. He's being himself a nice little kitty. So thank you, Brenda, for this beautiful box. You spoiled me rotten. I love everything. The things that I haven't shown in here that you sent, I'm already using because it's been a couple of weeks since I received this and I just hadn't podcasted yet. So, wow. Thank you. I think that's it. So, hopefully, I will be able to podcast again before... Come here, fat cat. Yep. Hopefully I will be able to podcast again before the Advent season is over. And, yeah, check your checkbook before starting the high fiber diet. Bye-bye. Okay, you want to say bye-bye?